Hello, community of learners, Dr. Turney and Concordia University. This is the video for the Reflection on Culture, Ethnicity, and Race assignment. It starts off by asking, how do the social identities, culture, ethnicity, and race impact you, your students, and your school? I serve as Director of Programs for Success for the Future, which is a nonprofit organization established to help at-risk and underserved kids in high poverty areas. And we aim to ensure that they steer away from pathways that lead towards delinquency, social dependency, and incarceration. So within the environment which I work with, the identities play a major role because we are trying to move them from one form of character understanding to a completely different behavior. So we have to be able to tap into the experiences that they deal with on a daily basis and present something to them in an appealing manner that inspires them to move away from that as they go through the course of the projects. It then says, what assumptions do we make about people from different races, ethnicities, and cultures? Oftentimes, because I have dealt heavily in the political sector, I am the only black out of a lot of events. And when I walk in, because of my hairstyle, my age, my color, it seems as if I'm a militant person and I wouldn't be compassionate to the ideas, or I wouldn't be aware of actually what's going on. And I'm actually a very loving person who's compassionate about all people, and I'm engaged enough to where I have the understanding that's necessary to operate within that realm. So oftentimes, because of what we have been given as factual information, and whether it's been passed on from family members or the associations that we have with our friends or various affiliations, we get stereotypes that do not necessarily represent the actualities of people. So I believe that assumptions create an atmosphere that does not allow us to see the full potential of what can actually happen. So it's very vital and very important that we look beyond that and look at people for people. Just that we're humans before we are blacks or whites or males or females or young or old. We're humans first. And that's something that we need to recognize. It says, why is there a dichotomy where some students achieve and some students do not? When I was in Huntsville, Alabama, I was serving as a substitute teacher before I went full-time into the nonprofit sector. And I was privileged to work at schools in every district. And so you saw the ones that had plenty of resources, and you saw the ones that were lacking resources, and you saw the ones that looked like magnificent institutions, and you saw the ones that looked like prisons. And the visual of that created the mindset of the learners. So we have to understand that it's not that the kids can't achieve, it's just they're products of their exposure. So until we're able to expose them to things that are different from what they're used to, we can't expect the results to be different. If kids have not been given an example of high expectations for their academic achievement levels, we cannot expect them to be inspired to achieve at a high level. If they have not been around order in the classroom, we cannot expect them to not be chaotic when they go to school. We have to be able to afford them the opportunities to do exactly what it is that we expect from them on paper. And we have to find ways to translate that so it can be articulated to them where they can understand it, accept it, adapt to it, and use it for their own benefit. The next question asks, why is it important to develop equity in your classroom? I feel once we develop equity in the classroom, we allow all the students to be at the same level. And if we allow them to be at the same level, that means they can reach beyond that level in their own ways. It's important to understand that there isn't a cookie-cutter approach to how kids learn. So we have to make it individualized so that they can achieve at the level that they deserve. Because once they're able to expand their imaginations and they see that they can get the material that's in front of them, that will inspire them to do things that we would have never even imagined. So by creating that equity in the room, we allow those who may have been disadvantaged to catch up to a point to where they can create their own destination. They can create their own results. They can create their own benefits, and they can utilize the gifts that they have to do it. Equity, in my opinion, sets a standard and allows all kids to pursue their gifts and their dreams. The final question says, how will this perspective affect what you teach and how you will teach it? Very simple. I look at the idea that anyone can learn. Anyone can do anything they put their mind to. So I understand the importance of at least providing that platform. If we have all of these amazing ideas of what can be done, we have to ensure that the people can actually do them. And I think by creating the idea of equity within the classroom, we will see our learners create their own aspirations to do amazing things. And that will be something that will be beneficial not just for them, but for their peers, for their families, for the system as a whole, and for everyone that is a stakeholder within the community. I believe that we should focus on the idea of equity and teach it first to our young people so that when they become adults, they will be responsible enough to ensure that peace, prosperity, and tranquility can move forth in this great nation and eventually the world abroad. This is the end of this assignment, reflection on culture, ethnicity, and race. I thank you for tuning in to my community of learners, Dr. Turner, Concordia University. I'll see you next time.